The most important thing with the trance channeling is you only accept the highest and the best. So I always make a prayer and I say I only accept the highest and the best. When I go into trance, it's like going to a rocket. And we were saying always upwards, it's never downwards, it's always upwards. So normally I go into a rocket and I go very, very fast and completely out of my body. Spirit takes over my body, communicates through me, and it's always for the highest and the best, and I'm 100% gone. In this situation, as I'm guiding you both, I will be 90% gone, and I will be aware if I need to come back, if I need to bring you back. We can do a bit of the questions and answers where we're all in the trance altered state, and any messages, anything that comes to you, any feelings, know that it's not yours, it's of Spirit giving you the evidence, the messages. Could be visuals, could be smells, could be feelings, intensity of the body. It could be vocalized, or it could just be felt. If there is no vocal communication from either of you, then Spirit will use me and communicate as normal. I was explaining to Fazila before, Betche, that when you didn't speak yesterday, actually that's sometimes a good thing, because you're going step by step. I've had many people you try to guide them, and they say, help me, I can't come back. And actually, it's better to go steadily, because otherwise that knife can cut your hand. Learn to use a knife, a small knife, then a medium knife, then the big knife, and then you become an expert at what you do. And that's good. So there's never any judgment or anything. You just have to really be honest with what you're experiencing. Never give anything that's just in the mind. Only give what is coming from Spirit. So first of all, when we enter into the rocket. So this rocket, I'm holding the sacred space. I've created this sacred space, this triangle grid work of us three here today. And I ask for the highest and the best to protect us, to allow us to elevate our consciousness, to enhance the energy, to bridging the higher worlds of communication that needs to be communicated here. I will keep a little bit of consciousness here, so I can be mindful we've got other clients later and how you're both doing. But we're just going to keep going upwards and receive the love and the messages that need to be come through. So as I go into trance, the first few minutes, I'll allow Spirit's presence to basically merge with me. Now remember that I ask only for the highest and the best. So the highest, the ultimate, highest, zenith, best, Spirit's messages and purity that needs to be communicated and trance-channeled to merge with my body. At the beginning, as they merge with my body, I notice that I am no longer aware of my legs. I'm no longer aware of my stomach, of my upper body, of my arms, and eventually it's often the hands and then the head and the eyes that become the last part of the body to surrender. For when you surrender with a massage, trance for me is like a spiritual massage. I never feel any pain, I always feel better after it, I feel uplifted. So you just make sure you're comfortable, you make sure you've got something behind your back, just in case you fall backwards in the deep relaxation as you come out of your body. And as you have come out of your body, many multi-dimensional spirits can merge with your body, and then eventually they overtake your body. This is not a negative thing, this is only for the purity and for the highest. I have made sure that there is this golden triangle of protection, and no negative, no less than pure vibrations can enter. Straight away, my left hand feels very, very hot and tingly. Although I've got no sensation of the hand as such, there's an energy that I'm aware of. And then eventually my mind will dissolve. For this, the purpose of this teaching, I will keep a little bit so I can guide and communicate. Okay, so only go as deep as you feel comfortable. Notice any sensations in your feeling. And remember, it's not the body feeling. This is your eternal spirit that's feeling. So really be present and faithful and trust what's coming through, because it's definitely higher consciousness that's beyond the limiting consciousness. So just as you allow yourself to raise up, connect and merge with Spirit. Blessings, we are here. We come to you from the Galactic Federation of Love, Light, and all that is true sight. For when you truly see, you will be given the key of love and eternity. Now, we have been waiting for this time, for you both, for you all. For we have sensations, we have information, and we have insight into assisting your realm of understanding. For in reality, you cannot lose anything. You can only progress, proceed, and uplift in your consciousness. How may we assist today? Are there any questions? Are there any answers? First, you must feel. If you feel so inclined, you may speak. Or if you just want to feel the space, we will hold that space, and then we shall communicate the answers, whether the questions are asked or not. We may proceed. Dear Fazala, now you are channeling. How do you feel?
Protected. And all the questions, lose their questions. There's no, it's like questions lose meaning.
You are correct in your ascension upwards, as when you attain the higher perspective of the all-seeing star, you will remember who you are. And ultimately, when you know you are loved, you are safe, you are protected, the rest will dissolve and melt away. There is no point fighting other people's battle. You must just be the light and attain the pure perspective. Wholeness has many forms, and yet just like the expanding jigsaw puzzle of consciousness, one must remember what is eternal, what is infinite, for that which is infinite is not restricted by the limitations of the mind, of the body, of the spirit. Because all those limitations restrict the spirit's growth, and they are not eternal. As you merge with the higher realms, all body pain will be dissolved, all pain will be dissolved. All illusions will melt away. What can you feel about the space you are experiencing?
It's like my hands need my hands are asking for more energy. It's like that.
sending you the tingling higher vibrations of energy, and we wish to remind you that you are never in need. You always have. You just must receive and use wisely.
It's like it's not about me, it's about bringing out the energy.
In reality, it is about expanding the energy, for when your spirit expands, your consciousness expands, and there can only be a beneficial landing when you return, and the flight can only be more enjoyable each time. For expanding within is not the same as expanding without. Expanding within is going within the universal matrix of pure sight, pure source and spirit, the essence of all that is infinite. For infinite nature is the way. All roots that you once needed are no longer needed. All habits and paths which were put in place for protection and security to prevent any misunderstanding will melt away also. For there can be no misunderstanding in the eyes of spirit when the roots have been removed. For when one realizes within the hot air balloon, one can fly and soar higher, and yet also with mastery and mental discipline, you can soar upwards and then transform to the rocket of your consciousness. Do you feel any sensations or hear any voices or see any images?
Since we started, my head is tingling.
That is good. Sometimes it may hurt.
It's like a pleasant, warm. It's like as if something is downloading into my head.
We wish to remind you it is about uploading.
It's uploading.
Exactly, uploading.
It's like
uploading the higher consciousness. For when you receive uploads, you also fly upwards.
and also I have put my right hand on my heart, and it's very warm.
And how do your ears feel, dear one?
My ears feel as if they can hear very well.
Really?
Normally, I don't hear well. I have a hearing loss, but I feel as if my ears are hearing very, very well.
Excellent, for in the eyes of spirit, all illusions, all disease, all pains just melt away, and only the perfected light and higher consciousness can be. But Jay, how do you feel?
I feel very good. I just go in the flow, and then in a minute, and then my mind interacts sometimes.
Like we stated, the mind is the last. The hands and then the mind is the last part of the body to go before you are in the trance state. That is correct. Yet with time, you will fully surrender. It is rather like learning to swim. When you swim, you first need armbands or a float. Then you realize it's more enjoyable when you let go of the armbands and float. And you realize, really, you were safe all along. And now you can go up and down the slides. You can swim at your own speed. We would like for you both to keep experiencing what you are feeling. And we invite you, if you have any questions as part of your minds are still here.
I want to ask from my friend because she really wanted me to ask you how do they find the thieves? Will they be able to find the thieves? And,
We are aware of what happened and we see that it was on an auspicious time of celebration and manipulation. We are aware of two gentlemen, a doorman and an uncle, who played the parts of the event. It is not pure, and indeed some of the things shall be found or given back, and yet some of it was part of a message they need to remove themselves from the current location. Also, the marriage is not one that will be long lasting. This is not to bring fear to the marriage, it is just to remember a sign. It was a sign for the families are not in harmony. In the higher realms of perspective, nothing is ever lost. It is just a message, a transformation of consciousness. There were copies of the keys. Change of location is advised for all involved to move forward.
what do you tell me about myself for my future? What do you want me to know?
Your future is a bright one. Although you struggle and you feel a failure and you feel overwhelmed by the pressures of the world, the judgments, the conditioning, we see you progressing, we see you moving upwards, we see the spiritual growth. There is the need to be in partnership for creating sacred space, for there are many in need. Just as you have needs, there are many that need healing and guidance. Therefore, when you facilitate it and empower it to help bring the beings together to receive what they need to know, you will completely heal. For now you are going through the healing, the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly. It is divine timing, dear one. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself, for often there are many spirits working with and through you. Acknowledge them and let them come and go. and yet never give your power away to any being or any spirit. For all that is good will only give to you, will add to your abundance of spirit in a harmonious way. Any being who takes from you is not like that. There must be the spirit of love in all you do. There is the need for you to rest more, for you to document your dreams, for we are speaking to you both. Through your dreams, you will awaken the memories, the things you need to understand further, the things you need to let go. Enjoy the little pleasures of life, yet never become attached. For you do not take the food, the item with you to spirit. You take only the essence and the learning. Therefore, we would like for you to teach the children, create a sacred space, partnership, for spiritual awakening is required. In love and harmony, of course. Do you have more questions?
Yes.
We invite
What you keep on saying partnership.
you. We mean partnership with spirit and partnership with those who are on the path. For when you are connected with those that are on the path, you will always be supported, and you will be able to help many beings be supported and to rise.
When you say help people heal, and I don't feel healed myself, and sometimes it's so hard for me to wake up in the morning and get out of bed, and then sometimes how do you heal when you don't feel healed, and how do you heal when you don't feel you have healing abilities?
You must receive, for no being is a healer. No being is anything but a being of light. And yet spirit, the pureness of the spirit that lies within the matrix of all beings, is where the healing, where the trance, where the essence is. Therefore, by acknowledging it, by tuning into the power, the electricity, the power of infinity, then you shall start to be connected with those who know how to expand upon the power and produce spiritual electricity, spiritual energy. And you are healing. You are not healed as yet, of course, but the need for your healing has brought you to enhanced spiritual awakening. Therefore, you are tiptoeing on the path. The need to organize and facilitate retreats and workshops where beings can connect with who they are. The need to provide nourishment for those who are ready to receive proper nutrition. There will be more that will be revealed in the future on this. And yet, firstly, you must remember that you only do what feels right. For the mind is a funny one, but the feelings and the prana of spirit's essence is pure. We invite your next question, dear one.
Maybe Burja has some question.
I would like to surrender totally, get out of my mind. There is, I see small part of my mind still resisting.
Just like going to the dark, you often feel that you have to take away or you have to go through extremities. Just like the channeler introduced at the beginning. In the beginning, you merge with spirit. It's not that you throw something away or you have to avoid this and that. Quite the opposite. If you want to enjoy a food or an alcohol or whatever your desires are, it cannot bother you if you merge with the essence. For there is no life in anything which does not have essence and prana. So firstly you merge with the higher spirits. You merge with the spirit within you. Then before you know it, you are out of the body. You have not avoided it or had to let it go. You just realize you shed your skin. When you shed your skin from a lizard to a snake to an eagle, you realize you had wings all along and you were an eagle stuck in a lizard's body. And there's no need to be afraid of the lower or the earthly things. It is just one of ascension. You do not need, but you have choice. The mind must go where it is required. And yet you, your spirit's essence of eternity never really goes anywhere. It is the mind that must change, the mind that must go. The mind is like gas in the stomach. It must be passed as wind, for it doesn't serve you. Yet, all doctors will tell you, all stomachs, all intestines, all bodies have little bits of gas whilst they are living. And yet it is the percentage vibration that is important. For the mind must be guided at times. Eventually you will realize you can always swim, you can always fly. Having that leap of faith, jumping off that mountain and realizing you are the eagle with the wings. And when you soar, you see the higher perspective. You do not need to try to throw the mind away. You need to just merge with spirit and then fly. When the mind is not really in control, you will be at the guidance of the ultimate spirit of love. Be it with protection, be it with light and messages. You have had traumatic past lives when you abused the power and the magic. That is why you are going in the steady pace which you are. There is no judgment or criticism on our side, for we just grow with you. We merge with you. For all is perfect, and time is an illusion. The mind is one just to acknowledge as a little friend, a little child, and yet never let the mind control you. If you want to eat pizza, you listen to the inner child, to the heart's giggle, the giggle of eternity, the love of eternity. You do what your heart tells you. If your mind tells you don't do this, don't trust it. Trust the heart, trust the spirit. Let go of attachments, for again, you are always loved, you are always safe, you are always protected. When you remember this, everything else just melts away. Like snow melting on a summer day, the sun will shine again. Remember your crystalline natures. Be the light and shine bright. All is perfect. We invite one more question before we conceal this exercise in connecting to higher awareness through trance and through channeling and through connecting. Is there one more question, dear ones?
I have a question about the children again, because I feel their lives are like, one of them is with this weight problem and the other one with this ADD thing. It's just they have barriers in life for social success and social happiness and social fitting into life, and that's a lot of heaviness on me as well. And especially my daughters, and I feel as a mother I'm watching and I'm not doing enough, and I just need spirits to help me to help them so that they can help themselves, because it's their journey and it's their lives. But I feel that there's always this thing about carrying this weight and carrying this. ADD is also a form of, it's not also weight that I and the children are always carrying, and I don't know why. And so if there's a way to light up and live the earthly world as it deserves to be lived.
You have answered your own questions. For when you help others to help themselves, you empower, you breathe the life into them and allow them to breathe again. You give birth Children are the keepers of so much knowledge and love. Children are great reflectors. They reflect the issues, the healing which you can experience together. Without children, there would be no healing or feeling. For as adults, you forget quickly your feelings and the need for healing. Guide the children and yet allow them to go from the heart. For eating 5 boxes of KFC is not from the heart. It's from fear or boredom or forgetfulness of not being loved, protected and safe. Eating 3 or 4 pieces of pizza is okay because it's surrendering to the enjoyment of the little bits of life's pleasures. Shouting at another being is not okay. 4. It is forgetting that they are loved and safe and protected. In all that you do, remember how loved and safe and protected you are, and reflect that to all those around you. The children, there is no coincidence they are in your lives, for they are in your life for indeed a blessing. Keep moving, don't approach the stagnation of the mind, for there must be movement in order to be improvement. There must be heartfelt awakening to progress. What you focus on will increase. If you focus on rejection, if you focus on food, if you focus on unharmony, it will increase. If you focus on love, that will increase also. The eternal love, the eternal essence, which is so beautiful and within all beings of consciousness and in all spirits. Only acknowledge what you wish to plant and to grow, for all that you see are the seeds that you sow. As we bring the channeler back here to the present room, is there anything you would like to say about your feelings or your connection with trance right now? Birche?
Yes, I feel like my body is dancing now, and I am bringing light to to my previous life, which I have not been in light, maybe the black magic you communicated before. So I bring the light there and enlighten everything there to continue my path in light.
Through Spirit's love, through Spirit's light, you enlighten yourself and you enlighten your awakening. You are on the path of light now. Remember that. You are on the path of Spirit's love. Your future is one of majesty and grand things, grand spiritual things. We love you, dear one. Onwards and upwards. Fazila, dear one, how are you feeling?
I feel very well. I feel I saw this vision of myself like 2 or 3 minutes ago when you, right before you asked Boche how she's feeling and how she, right before that, I saw a vision of myself. I was with a man I've met before, that we were a couple, and that I felt very joyful, and I saw myself like in his arms, and I was much thinner with very, very healthy hair and skin, and that I had like a little shorter hair, but you know, like I've done a lot of weightlifting and sports, and like I felt very, how do you say, capable, in control of my body. And we were in like a very crowded place, but I felt like I was not overwhelmed by this man or being with this man or being in such a crowded place. I felt so good in my skin and so complete.
Again, you have answered your own question. You are whole, you are complete, and you are beyond limitations. You acknowledged the infinite nature within yourself. You saw Spirit's enlightening eternity of evidential love. This is profound. You have found what you were looking for. Reconnect with it and keep your fire lit. For your path is one of more lightness and more freedom.
One last thing I have to say is just within that picture, when I saw that it's a perfect picture, you know.
It's the perfect picture for you, for
Exactly.
where you are going for reconnection.
Exactly. But at that point, I felt like I didn't have any body issues. I didn't have.
You never have, dear one. It's
didn't-
about letting go of the mind, and there is no need for control when you acknowledge your infinite nature. You can have your cake and eat it. You can have your pizza and eat it. You just must infuse love into all you do and the infinite power of love.
At that point, when there was no barriers of am I being loved because there's this amazing man next to me and I know he's loving me, and then I'm among this lot of people and I'm part of a crowd and I feel I can be in a harmony with the crowd and in movement and in tone with my body and healthy with good glowing hair and this and that. But then at that point I am asking myself, Fazla, you don't have any more barriers to stop yourself because socially you have overcome all of this weight issues and are you being loved issues and are you in a relationship issues and all of these problems that you think is holding you back. And at that very moment, and I'm at that point where I'm looking at left and right and I'm like, where are all the problems gone? And without all of these problems, what am I going to do now? At that point, at that very picturesque point.
You fear you are not enough when you let go of the identity and the ego and the mind. For when you are not in the mind, you worry about what you don't want, and you have fear of losing it. When you trust the heart of the spirit, the heart of the eternal spirit, you realize, you acknowledge the spirit's heart of eternity is the infinite essence of who you are. You do not need the mind. Mind comes and goes. You are on the path of rediscovery and becoming infinite again. Never forget your spirit's heart. We invite you to come back now, dear ones. Feel the energy, the circulation in all areas of your body. Just like a fountain of infinite light, expanding the colours of all of that which is pleasing, pure, healing and nourishing. You are loved, and you are love, and you are light. Never forget this. Right. Yeah.